I was dying.
And she's screaming like, I'm dying, I'm gonna die.
I said, I'm gonna die.
Her water breaks.
So
We're like, it takes
painful.
us forever to get to the hospital. Baby's like coming out when she's getting out of the car, and emergency. We have like 8 people following us, security, and it's wild. And then we finally get her up to the delivery room. Baby's like halfway out, and she's screaming like, I'm dying. You could hear the baby's heartbeat, and it's like critical times. And Syl's telling me, I'm gonna die. I'm not gonna make it from here. And she's like, I'm dying. Hey guys, welcome back to Driven Couples. We're here back again. And today's episode is going to be really good. I think this is going to be one of my favorite ones.
What are we covering? Tell our friends.
You don't know?
I do.
So it's how we have created the most important, powerful business relationships as a power couple. And I'm going to ask you something, so I'm going to throw it back to you. Do you agree with me? I think it's very evident, and I say it a lot. But I'm seeing it more and more clearly, and I think you're seeing it now because now we're at a position where we have a lot of reserves and flows of income, and I don't think you've ever seen me so focused and confident with that, of just how much we have and how like we really are in a position, especially as a family, where if it's only me and you, we could do it by ourselves, but we want to take our good people with us.
Right.
So we are like resource-wise, money-wise, if it's only me and Syl, we have more than enough. Now, that gives you a lot of security, especially as a couple. Now, and I think more for the female. Females like security.
Once you have kids,
However,
you need security.
However, some businesses just started taking off, and a lot of things have, a lot of good things have happened to us. Just to leave it like that, I think our success is very evident with our businesses, with the materialistic stuff and the lifestyle, and just the comfort that we have for our family. And the thing is that we're dangerous because that doesn't make us lazier. That doesn't make me stop. Like my daughter, Syl, they see me in the mornings live, in the nights live. Yesterday I went door knocking for a big reason. Okay, I didn't go door knock because I have to door knock to make pennies. I went to door knock because I want to learn that skill, and I'm also recording a course about door knocking, and I went with somebody that's the best door knocker out there to get listings. But I'm humble enough to be coachable, where I can go and learn things from other people. I don't know how to do everything. I'm not the best at everything. I'm the best at certain things, but not everything. So I always want to learn. You got to remain, I always say this, coachable, hungry, and humble. So I'm humble enough to go learn things that I need to get better at, things that I need to learn so that I can teach to other people. So having said that, guys, our success is pretty evident. Now, I would say that the reason for us to be in this place, in where we are today, success level, is because of the relationships we've created. Now, one of the most powerful relationships that started was Grant Cardone and Elena Cardone, when we used to be with them really close, hang out really close,
Right.
spend a lot of time with them. I'm talking about 8 years ago, more or less, 7 years ago. And then, they went their own way, we went our own way. But even before that, I was getting very close with Todd Duncan. And then there was a lot of other people that came after. Then there was Patrick Bet-David. But we've always gotten very, very, very close to all these people and gotten all the value from them. And I feel like we've given value to them too. But we've gotten all the value, and I'm like a sponge. I'm very good at sucking all the value, like from a Grant Cardone or from like a Todd Duncan or from like anybody, Patrick Bet-David. But we went as deep as to we met Grant and we would go to their house. We would spend time we would have private dinners with Grant and Elena. We did the same thing with Patrick Bet-David, where we went to his house and we had a lot of dinners, a lot of lunches, one-on-ones. And then we did the same thing with Brad Lee, and on and on and on and on and on. So one thing that's very important is when you have a supporting significant other, whether it's your spouse or girlfriend, it's very important to have one that has a personality that is likable, that is smart, intelligent, that looks fancy, knows how to speak. Because there's some girls out there that are really trashy. And you know, like some of them look like prostitutes, and they shouldn't look like that, because you're never gonna end up at a dinner with some of these billionaires and celebrities looking like a prostitute. And I'm sorry if somebody gets offended, but it's the truth. There are places and times for you to dress different ways. And
Right.
when you are going with people that are super sophisticated and successful and wealthy, you got to dress professional. You got to dress classy. You know, you could dress sexy, but you got to be classy. Also, the way you speak. There's some people, and it could be girls and guys. I say girls because I like girls. I'm attracted to girls. I'm not attracted to
so.
guys. So, like girls, they also need to speak well.
Yeah.
And obviously, when you come from Compton or South Central or Echo Park or La Puente, you're gonna grow up ghetto. You're not gonna speak well. So it's okay that you came from there, but it's not okay to stay like that. You got to polish your skills if you want to become very successful and wealthy, and if you want to build these relationships. You can't keep the ghetto inside. You got to you got to polish it and get better. So when you have a girlfriend, you know, and maybe she looks classy, but the moment she opens her mouth, you're like, oh man, this girl is super ghetto. Like, you're never going to make it with these relationships. You're never going to create these powerful relationships. So sometimes as we were growing, a lot of times Syl used to tell me, like, she used to kick me like that, or she used to like go like that under the table, and she would tell me, stop saying that.
Don't say that.
Stop talking like that. Stop doing
Chew
that.
with your mouth closed.
Because you know, I came from the ghetto just like Syl,
Yeah.
and we don't know any better, but we have helped each other grow, and we have helped each other get to new levels. And we've gone from relationships that were millionaire relationships to $10 million relationships to $100 million relationships to $1 billion relationships. Did I tell you that Fred texted me that he wants to see me next month? This month, he comes back this month from Peru. So he's in Peru.
Billionaire?
He's in Peru. So he's in
Crazy.
Peru right now, traveling. He likes to visit like those countries and like give donate money and things like that, charities. I don't know what he's doing over there, but he's gonna come. So my point is that I think still that if we weren't that close, Bobby Castro, another one. Like we stay in their house with Sophia's and Bobby's. We sleep there. We hang out. We're like, it's almost like we're like spending like a whole 3-4 days with them when we go there. We wake up together, go to sleep together, and all that. So why, number one, why do you think we have that ease to make these people our very close friends to that extent where we stay in their house? And why Oscar de la Hoya, another one, and why? And do you think that because we've created those relationships, power couple to power couple, me and you, Bobby and Sophia, me and you, Grant and Elena, me and you, Patrick and his wife. So do you think that has been, this is a second question, do you think that has been the reason, or maybe the top one reason, or maybe top 2 or 3, or where would you put it, that we are here where we are today? How do you feel about that?
So to answer the first question.
And then the third question,
let me get
why,
to these 2 first.
Why can't everybody just go out there and do it? Like think about everybody that we've known from the past that are probably not in our life anymore.
Right.
Why can't they get a girlfriend, or why can't they get a boyfriend and go become best buddies with these people like that?
So the reason why I think a lot of these men and women are attracted to us as a couple, I think it's because the men see themselves in you, and the women, if they do work alongside, because a lot of them do, that's why they're a power couple, they are in business together, you know, they help each other grow. So I think they see themselves in us. And obviously, I mean, I'm not that young anymore, I'm 36, but we've always been looking for,
You're the same age as Andrew Tate.
looking for people that we admire to learn from. Because again, like Albert said, you have to always remain hungry, coachable, and
Humble.
humble. And what does that mean? Like him door knocking, we've never door knocked before, to be really honest. I've door knocked, I talked to neighbors around a listing, things like that, but not specifically parked my car, had flyers, and went door knocking. So I think it has been a huge part of our success. And the reason for that is because, like I always say, so you have to do better. When you know better, you do better. It's your responsibility to do better. Most people aren't willing to not only change, learn, and grow, right? For us, changing, learning, and growing is always a priority. And we're always looking for that next opportunity, that next relationship, because we do value relationships a lot, so that we can continue to grow, learn something we didn't learn, and that's the whole point of life, is learning from everybody's experiences. Because even somebody that might not be at our level of success, like I really believe that you can learn something from any and everybody. The reason being, we all have different experiences in life. So, for me, I'm like, what can I learn from this person? And we're not always going to be best friends forever, but that's why in life, there's levels. And to get to next levels, you have to build new relationships. Like I'm sure for you, Albert, it's way different to be around a billionaire than a multimillionaire, right? Because Albert's always like looking for that person, that two people in one room, or maybe even one person, depending on what room you're in, that you want to get to. And he's really good at that. Like he'll find his way through a massive crowd to that one person that we were both like after, if you will. And what I mean by that is put yourself in an elevator with them, Brad. Put yourself in an event where we're paying 20 grand to sit all the way at the front, where obviously at the front there's more successful people. So how different is it? Like Duggan, I remember you were so excited when you came home from talking to him.
Why do you think I can communicate with the billionaires? Because I can have a back and forth conversation with a billionaire.
You're a billionaire in the making.
I wasn't like that in the beginning though.
Right.
Like if you look at me 10 years ago and 5 years ago, maybe 5 years ago I started getting better. But 10 years ago, like if I spoke with a billionaire or somebody worth 100 million, I wouldn't be, I couldn't carry the conversation that well. And I think I was a little bit insecure about my accent.
Intimidated, yeah.
And I didn't feel like my English was good. And I felt like I was going to say things that were going to sound stupid to them. So why do you think, what's the biggest difference you've seen in the way I communicate with a billionaire now? Because now I can talk to a billionaire back and forth at the same level. And before I couldn't. And how did I get better at it?
I mean, I would say from experience, you get better, and practicing and being around these types of people. You just get better with time. And again, that's the goal. The goal is to be better than the previous year.
You know what I think it is?
The previous month. What?
It's your track record.
Confidence?
It's your track record of success. Because now I have a lot of success. I mean, not a lot of people can say they made 30 million. And we made 30 million.
Can I have some Celsius?
You have that? You don't want that?
I don't want that cold flavor. I just want a sip.
Just a little sip. So guys, like we made 30 million, and this is with all our businesses. So $30 million. That's a big number. Before I wasn't there, we got, and I mean, like I said, it's very evident right now, our business success. You guys can see it even if you're blind. So I think the more success you get, the more confident it makes you more confident. So before, the biggest difference between an Albert 10 years ago versus an Albert now is that the Albert from 10 years ago wasn't as confident as the Albert today. So 10 years ago, with less confidence, you can't have the same conversation with a billionaire. But now, with the confidence of Albert today, after the success that he's had, that he's wrote, not that he's gonna do, but that he's already wrote, is way different, and it gives you that extra confidence to speak with a billionaire. And that's all it is. That's why I think it's different now.
Well, and also it just keeps being better and better and better. Like we're actually still growing. We continue to grow. And most people stop growing. And when you stop growing, you start to die. That's just the way the world works, And for us, it's like we stay so busy, you guys. There are some days that I'm just like, oh my God, like it never ends. Even literally, like my baby is 18 days today, and like right now my boobs hurt so bad. I have to go pump, but it's like we're always on the go.
They look nice though.
They're big.
They're like the size I want them.
You have to wait till after this baby. I'll get them done. But yeah, so again, guys, it's continuing.
So you're gonna make him bigger?
Shut up. It's continuing the growth.
Well, you said that, not me.
So it's continuing the growth, and I think that also people like Bobby Castro, people like Grant Cardone. You know, it's like a lot of people can talk, but can you back up your talk? Most people can't back up their talk. And for us, we do our best to exceed what we said we were going to do. And I think that also people like Ed Milet can see that. People like Bobby Castro can see that. Grant can see that. Like, we're not just full of shit, if that makes sense. It's like we actually do the things we say we're going to do. We put in the work. And like I tell people, I'm not perfect. I try very hard to be perfect. And I don't mean perfect like myself. I mean like whatever I'm doing is going to be the best possible outcome ever. Period. Because I'm going to make sure it's above and beyond anybody's expectations.
Well, I'll give you an example. Like the people that used to be around me, if you're watching this, they used to have access to me, and they used to be able to pick my brain, get advice from me, have masterminds with me, go have a drink with me, get ideas from me. And remember that you are the average of your 5 people you spend the most time with. And I don't spend time with certain people because I don't want to bring my average down.
Yeah.
So these people that used to be in my life and not anymore, now they lost me. So they can't replace me. There is nobody like me. So now
nobody like you that's gonna want to hang out with them.
Now they're spending time with 5 other people. And those people are dumber than them. So now it's just draining you down.
Right.
And I'm sure that a lot of times, especially in the last couple of months, you've probably thought like, man, you know what? I wish I had Albert right now so I can ask him, what do you think I should do? Man, I wish I had Albert today because I wish I could go to Shake Shack with him. Man, I wish I had Albert because I wish I could have a workout with him. Man, I wish I had Albert because I could have sent him a text just to ask him, what do you think about this or this? And that ended. So me, when I look at people that are like that, when you speak with them, when you hang out with them, when you go to dinner with them, it's different kinds of conversations.
Right.
So now at the level that I am, I only want to spend time with people that are above me, people that are billionaires.
That's how you continue to get better.
People that are worth hundreds of millions. Or also, I want to spend time with people that are part of our company, people that are going to grow with us, people that are all in, people that I can help. Because if they're part of the company, they're giving me value because they're helping me grow the company. And I'm also giving them value back. I'm giving them value. They're giving me value. It flows both ways. When somebody doesn't give me value, I'm not going to spend a second of my life with them.
Right.
Because I'm just at a level right now and at a place where I don't want to waste my time. You know, we have a 3-5 year plan right now for the next 3 to 5 years, and I'm as focused as can be. What were you saying?
That a lot of people also, because we're not really taught this in school, but we've been fortunate enough to, you know, go to enough events, read enough books on our own, you know, to know these things. But think about the power. The power, people underestimate the power of the people that you can call or be like, hey, let's go have lunch to get your advice from. Because think about it. If you're asking for advice on what to do to a person that is nowhere near where you want to be, imagine that response that you're going to get. It's not going to get you any further than where you are. So if anything, it takes you back to where you were rather than how do I get here? But if you're asking people that are back here, you're going to end up back there with them, you know? And this is what, I mean, we move quickly and we're always like, you know, from place to place and from level to level to level to level. And we bring anybody that's willing to rock it with us. The problem is that I feel like very few people can keep up with us. Would you agree?
100%.
Yeah, because we're nonstop, and people are like, "Man, how do you guys do it?"
Would you agree that I'm more nonstop than you?
No, maybe right now because of the baby, but I'm still doing a lot. She's little, babe. I need to.
Yeah, I get it, but do you agree that?
No.
So you're more nonstop than me.
I mean, I think we.
You put it on your grandma's life. You are more nonstop than me.
These last 18 days, no, because I've never.
No, but
had so much of a break. It's like weird.
We do different things. Like I sleep less also.
Well, that's a choice of yours.
Yeah, but when I'm awake, I'm moving.
It doesn't take me a whole hour to get ready and shower.
You move fast. You shower faster.
I do my makeup and my hair faster.
Yeah, but I don't do that.
So it doesn't matter. Like if you can move fast, like I tell him,
when you
I like to zoom through
showering
things.
is not something you got to do faster.
No, it depends on what I.
When you shower, you want to be clean, and you got to clean all the body parts.
Of course, and it depends on how you're.
It's like some things are better done. I take my time doing certain things because you're supposed to.
You don't even have hair.
Some things are better slower.
You don't have hair.
When you have sex, you want to do it fast or slow. When you shower, you want to do it fast or slow.
Depends if the kids are awake or not.
So there's certain things that you want to do slower, and some things you want to do. Some things you want to take your time.
Okay, then there's things like taking too much time, like 10-minute breaks in between sets. Yeah, you don't need that.
Yeah,
much
but that's
break.
because I'm making money in between my sets.
So anyway, what were we saying?
That I work harder than you.
You don't. That's a lie.
Who makes more money?
Who
makes more money, me or you?
Albert.
Who makes more money, me or you?
You see us almost every day.
So who makes more money, me or you?
Tell him me.
Who makes more money? So you or me?
Your money is my money.
So that's a yes.
Doesn't matter. I help you make that money because I work really damn hard.
Who works out harder, me or you?
You. I can't work out right now.
See, she agrees. So just continue. So what you were saying, because you're making no sense right now.
You guys work equally hard in different things.
That was a great answer, Anthony. You heard him?
I'm running for office.
So again, guys, goal is to keep growing, to continue to grow. And for that, you need to continue to learn, but from the right people. Because if you're not learning from the right people, you're going to end up right back where you started. And nobody wants to do that. The goal is to keep moving forward, continue on the up side, and having a spouse that works just as much hard as you, or a little bit less.
Yeah, you work less. I just you work hard.
I do.
But you work what do you say, 14 hours a day?
Sometimes more.
I work 18 hours a day. So like I work more and harder. Well,
I'll now I'm being more efficient. That's for sure.
Yeah, but I'll give you. You're still working, like, because this is I work from here. This thing's the most powerful device you'll ever see. If you don't have an iPhone, if you don't have this is what, a smartphone, right? If you don't have a smartphone, what do you have?
A dumb phone.
A dumb phone. So your smartphone, you got to use it to make money. This is the most powerful device. I can be anywhere in the world, and I'll make a lot of millions with this. So you got to use this, abuse it. This is made to use it. And going back to that, there's a lot of dumb idiots, especially the younger people, that they want to work smarter instead of harder. And then again, I'm not saying everybody is dumb idiot. So don't take it. If the shoe fits, then put it on. But people want to work smarter than harder. So they'll say, well, if I can get 8 hours of work done in 1 hour, so I'm just going to work 1 hour and I'm going to make the same money. Well, you fucking idiot. You should work that hour
plus
8 times.
More, right?
That way you get 8 times the results. You get it?
Yeah.
So instead, if you're so excited and you think you're awesome because you can get the same amount of work done in 1 hour as opposed to 8 hours, then you should still work 8 hours and you'll get 8 times the results. But people now, they want to work just smart, but not hard. Or when people tell you, hey, you know what, Albert? Like some new people to my life, they'll come to me. In general, I'm talking in general. So in general, people that are new to me, they come to me, they meet me for the first time, and they're young, and they tell me, Albert, I just want to learn how to make passive income.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, oh, you want to learn how to make passive income? And I ask them, okay, well, what are you doing right now? How much money are you making? What do you do? Oh, well, right now I'm just kind of, I'm getting back up on my feet and I, I'm just kind of unemployed or have this part-time job, not making much. And I'm like, these people have it all twisted.
Right.
And it happens with a lot of youngsters. And I'm picking at you guys because I want to help you, not because I want to attack you. I want to help you. I want you guys to wake up. So instead of focusing on, I want to learn how to make passive income, Albert. Well, why don't you learn how to make active income first? You got to twist it. Stop worrying about passive income. First, focus on making active income. How much are you making actively? Are you working 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day? You should be working 18 hours a day, 7 times a week if you're broke. That's active income. Have 3 jobs. Go bartend, waitress, be a waitress, be a busboy. Get another job cleaning the offices or whatever. Get as many jobs as you have to make active income and get your income up, get the knowledge up, learn more so that you can make more money, and then focus on passive income. I didn't just wake up and I'm broke, I'm homeless, and I'm saying, oh, you know what? I want to make passive income, honey. First, get out of that Explorer. When we were broke, we lived in an Explorer for 2 months. We were homeless. I'm not thinking, let me make some passive income. First, get a job.
Right.
Active income. That's called active income. Get a job, save some money up, a lot of money, make good money, learn how to sell, start making real dough. And then once you make real dough, then that's time to make some passive income. But people want to make passive income. They want to work smart. They don't want to work hard.
Yeah.
They want to work from home. Like, guys, wake up. Wake up. You got a perfect mentor right here because I'm a millennial just like you. But I happen to be a more experienced millennial. That's what I like to call myself. I'm not an old millennial. I am an experienced millennial. So I'm still a millennial like you, but I'm in the latter part of the millennial little ladder.
Well, you can't substitute hard work. That's
or
just a work
or
ethic.
experience.
Or experience. So for those of you that, there's nothing wrong with wanting to eventually build passive income, whether it's through real estate. Eventually, because it is a lot of work, you guys. And I get it. Everybody wants to be an influencer or do makeup and have free
work from a laptop.
Like, I get it. But the reality is that not a lot of people get to do that. And if you are, hopefully you're, investing your money properly so that you could eventually get to a place where you do have passive income. That means that you're making money while you sleep. And this happens when you really position yourself properly rather than just blowing all your money. But there's no way you can get there without having an amazing work ethic. Because even, some of the influencers that I've talked to that we know personally, like, it takes a lot of work. You got to edit your videos. You got to do this. You got to do that. You have to have good content. You have to kind of take a chance on yourself. And hopefully it works out. For a lot of people, it doesn't. For the ones that it does, like Oscar's girlfriend, like, she explained to us how she did everything. She went to college and did this and did that and then decided, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And if you get into an industry or find an opportunity sooner than other people do, like a lot of these TikTok people, that's what happened to them, it's all timing, but also being prepared, so for her, it's like, she's like, I have to teach myself how to edit. I have to do this. I have to do that. So most people aren't willing to be consistent to get to that level. And again, it also depends how much is enough for you. Like, everybody's different. We all have different dreams and goals. But to me, I'm like, 10 grand a month, that would never be enough for anything. Like, not even gas. You get my point. Like, there's just different levels of passive income.
I mean, a simple example, like, I'm not going to travel to Texas to go speak at an event and get paid 50 grand. I'm not. Why? Because the flying private over there is going to be more than that.
Right.
And I'm not going to go commercial. And I'm also not going to leave my family behind because I like traveling with my family. So in order for it to make sense, it has to make sense. It doesn't make any sense. It's going to cost me more to fly there. I'm not going to make any money. 50 grand is not enough. And also I got to think about, like, what kind of crowd, what kind of audience is going to be there. What am I going to get from it? If it makes no sense, it makes no sense. So everything in life now, the biggest change in my life now is the way I see time, the way I value time. Like everything that I do now has to be a money-making activity or has to be things that I love to do. So because if I have an extra hour in a day left, then I choose to, maybe that hour, I want to spend time with my kids. Maybe that hour, maybe I want to have some champagne with my wife. Maybe that hour, maybe I want to
go in the jacuzzi with your wife.
Anything that I love to do, but you value time. So maybe I want to spend a few minutes with my dad, talk to him for like 30 minutes. You know, because that's how we roll, you know, like I'm like high and buy all the time. And I value my time. Broke people waste time. Rich people buy time. So people see this office and they're like, whoa, you guys pay $100,000 a month to have this whole entire floor? Yes, but rich people buy time, poor people waste time. We don't have to drive anywhere to record Driven Couples. We don't have to drive anywhere to record a podcast. People come to us and we have our studio here. That saves time. We're buying time. We're paying a lot of money to have this convenience. Now, I don't have to go to the gym. You know, going to the gym is a waste of time, at least for me. Before it wasn't, because I wasn't at this level. But now, if I'm going to go to the gym, I got to think about, I got to drive to the gym. I got to go park. I got to press the little parking thing. Boom, to get the little, or use the little key card. Go in. That takes time. I have to wait for that little thing to go up. Then I have to go find a park. Then I have to see if any robbers, anybody watching me. Then I have to go to the gym. Then I have to check in. Then like 2 or 3 people are going to stop me and they're going to ask me, how's your weekend? Oh my God, Albert, I follow you. Not saying that I don't like followers. I love followers, but remember, efficiency. There's a time and a place for everything. I'm going to see another person. Oh, I haven't seen you in a long time. You don't come to this Equinox anymore. It's a bunch of time wasting.
Right.
Like now, if I wanted to go there and hook up with a hot chick, then maybe I would go there, put my key down. Hey, you mind if I work in with you, girl? Sure, work out. Oh, you got a Ferrari. Oh, so cool. Bad. So that's a different story. I'm not there to hook up. Okay, I'm there. Anymore. I want to get my workout done. So then I got to do the whole routine again. Get out, come, and then people stop me again. Check out, get out of the parking lot, go back. It's just a complete waste of time. So, and then people are using the machines. They're busy. It's a complete waste of time. So for me, rich people buy time. Poor people waste time. So right here, we have a gym. We have a locker room, showers. So we got everything. We don't even have to go to the bar anymore because we have our own bar here at the office. So everything is made so that once I step into the office, every minute counts. Bam, 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 bam. People want an appointment with me, you come to my office. People want to do a podcast with me in person, you come to the office. And that's the way I roll. Like, we even have a playroom for the kids. So in other words, the biggest thing that has changed for me is the way I value time. You were telling me something about a person that's dear to you, Syl. Mm-hmm. And this person, is a little older now. And you can't buy time back. Like, you can't get time back.
So sad.
Once you get older, you get old. And you can't get young again. So, yes, I get it. Sometimes, Syl's like, well, does it have to be this stressful? And people like Ed Milet, Grant Cardone, and all these guys, they'll say, I get it. They have a nice life now, but you can't get time back. You can't buy, you can't go back years.
You can't buy youth.
So these guys, what? These guys fly private. These guys have the cars, the watches. They live in a nice house. So do we. But I like to do it when I'm in my 30s, when I'm young. I don't want to wait till I'm 60 or 70 to have all that. So I'd rather pay the price now, but play now. I don't mind it. And if I have to pay a heftier price to play now as I pay the price, then I'd rather do that. because I don't want to be chasing and playing around and putting my girls on top of me. My daughter's like, when I get home, put me on my head, put me on your head, daddy, put me on your head. If I'm like Cardone's age, I don't know how I'm gonna feel, because I feel the weight, and I'm in my 30s. I don't want to be 60, 70 and have to carry big kids on top of my head, because I might crack my back. You know, like I don't want to be old to drive a Ferrari or fly private. I want to do it now. So if some people will disagree with me, but that's how I am. You know, I to me it's important, and I love being Mexican, being young, flying private. Like, imagine having sex when we're 60?
I can't imagine being 60, to be honest.
I mean, it seems kind of scary.
It does.
Like, how do you have sex when you're 60?
I don't know. I'm not 60. I've never asked somebody that.
Like you guys get what I'm saying, right? I mean, some people might get bothered about it, but I don't know how it is to have sex when you're 60. I like when you're young and you could have, like, you could go longer and you could be more aggressive. Like, I like enjoying my youth, because I know that once I'm 60, you know, I'm gonna watch my kids grow. I'm gonna watch them get married. I'm gonna be a grandpa, and I'm gonna play with my granddaughters, my grandchildren, and I'm gonna take them on the jet. And you know, I'm gonna have a different life. But I do like to enjoy my life when I'm young, and that's just the way I am. And that makes a lot of sense what you said. Some of these, I think some of these older, more experienced mentors, they're like, I see myself in him. And maybe, just maybe, they say, I wish I would have been more aggressive. I wish I would have taken bigger risks. I wish I would have done more. Because look at this young Albert and Syl. They're busting their ass and they're taking big risks. I'm telling them, don't do that. And they do it anyways. And they have big balls. So I think that's something that they see, because, dude, I'm the biggest competitor. I'm fearless. I'm not scared of nothing. And I always push hard with so much aggression, because I want to grow as fast as I can. I want to grow the companies as fast as I can. And I don't mind resting very little. I don't mind giving that my all. I don't mind taking big risks. I don't mind, anything that gets in the way. I'm not scared of anything.
Just being old.
Yes. I can't imagine having sex at 60.
You know, and this is why I say, guys.
What do you think? You think we'll still have sex at 60?
You're so gross. So it just depends.
Possibly, yes.
Think about it, guys. If
Viagra, maybe I'm gonna need Viagra.
Yeah.
I never needed.
I think in your
Viagra,
in your 30s, you have to get really serious, because our 20s.
Even though I tried Viagra when I was younger.
Why'd you do that?
Popped a few pills, got some Viagra pills, and popped it in, and it was crazy. This when I'm like 22, and I'm with this chick, and she's like, try this. I'm like, cool, dude. Are
you serious?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Young people take Viagra. It makes you like it's supposed to enhance your performance.
What about the gas station pill?
I never tried that one.
What is that?
Guys, I did a lot of crazy things when I was younger. I don't do that anymore.
Lucky to be alive.
I don't do that. Yeah, I am lucky to be alive. I don't do that, but you know, I'm very transparent. I don't hide anything. So
they say the way you do one thing is the way you do everything, and he's definitely.
I have an addictive personality.
He does. He's super intense. Super.
Yeah.
Intense.
So guys, if you have any questions, comment there. Put them in the comments. Throw a few questions, and then I'm sorry, honey. Go ahead.
Oh, you interrupted me, right? And then you asked me there was a third question.
Why people that used to be in my life, they used to be mentored by me, and that they thought they had their power couple. Why can't they become friendsies with like a Bobby Castro, Sophia, and stay in their house and get that close?
Well, because it's simple. Real recognizes real. Does that make sense? Have you guys ever heard that saying? Because it's so true. Real recognizes real. So
they're not real.
I mean, it's easy to call yourself a power couple, but are you really a power couple?
Well, let me give you an example. Some of these people, like when in 2021, where it was very easy to make money. A lot of these people were making maybe 50 grand a month, 70 grand a month, and they were like, "Yeah, this is good." and they were getting like cars, and they thought they were like big time, and now reality hits today, and they don't adapt. Like me, I adapt. Some
Quickly.
of these people didn't adapt, and now the 60-70 grand a month went down to like 5,000 a month. So that's not enough to sustain the same lifestyle they thought they were at. It just became very easy to make money.
Right.
They got a lot of loans, they got a lot of free money, printed checks, a lot of help, deferments, etc. I can go on and on, but it kind of fucked people over because the pretenders are now washed away,
Right.
and the real players are the ones that because remember,
Take over.
what dictates somebody's success is your level of pain tolerance. The more pain tolerance that you can handle and withstand, the more successful you're going to be. And what happens is when these people, when the pain gets really hard, it slows down. They slow down. It just kind of numbs you, and you just stop. It's almost like you become crazy. Like you don't think right, and you start hanging around with weird people, the wrong people. You start making horrible decisions. And that's why the mindset is really strong. I really think that like Tate, you know how Tate's locked up? I think this is just a test for him. I think that when he comes out, he's gonna come out stronger. Because he was humbled a lot. And he's gonna come back, and as long as he doesn't break, he's gonna come out stronger. Because there are simple things like, for example, Tate said that he could grow a full hair, and he doesn't have hair. He's bald. That's why he shaves his head.
So he lied.
So he doesn't have a full set of hair. He has hair on the sides, but the top is like bald. Like he has very thin hair. He doesn't have hair, which makes sense. That's why he was shaving his head, and that kept him confident. But right now, they're not even letting him cut his hair. Nothing. They're just treating him like shit. So now people are making, and I'm not making fun of Tate, by the way. I love Tate. And people are making fun of him now. And they're saying, ha ha ha, his hair, he's a liar, he doesn't have any hair. And so they're making fun of him.
People suck, yeah.
And he doesn't like that because everybody has insecurities. I feel like maybe he doesn't feel secure about that. So he's
guy would?
From reports.
Think about if your hair fell
Yeah,
off.
so from reports, they're saying that he's been that he's been insisting that somebody lets him shave. Somebody lets him go and cut his hair and shave. And they don't let him, and they don't allow razors either for him to shave because you're not allowed to have razors inside. So they're doing that on purpose. They're just making them suffer. And so imagine what that does to him. And there's a lot more other things. So it's forcing him to get even stronger. So when he comes out, now he has to deal with it. Same thing with what happened with Jake Paul. He got his ass kicked.
But he made 30 million and the other guy made 7. So I'm down to get my ass kicked if I'm gonna make way more money than you.
I guarantee you that he would rather win. He would have rather won.
You think so?
And made half of the money.
I don't know. What do you guys think?
He would have. What does that do to a man when you lose?
I mean, he made more money. Isn't that why they did it in the first place, for money?
He lost. What you don't think Canelo would give back 50 million just to not have that loss that he had?
Yeah.
When people have that arrogance and that
ego
and their ego, when people fuck with your ego, that does a lot to a man.
Right. Well,
so
I guess.
so yeah, I just wanted to add that.
So I wouldn't know. I'll take the money.
But guys, post your questions there in the comments. Anybody have any questions? Please post them there. But something that Anthony said that it's very important to touch on, Syl. He said that we both work really hard, but differently. So one of the biggest things that has helped us a lot in relationship building with these billionaires and celebrities is that we complement each other very well. So like if I go to a place, I'm gonna do better if I go with you,
right,
than if I go alone. I'll still do good. I'll still kill it.
Yeah.
But sometimes, how many times did I tell you, hey, Syl, you got to come with me to this dinner. You got to come to me to this event because I feel we're going to do better if you come with me.
Together, yeah.
So why is that important? Because like let's say like when you were dying a couple of weeks ago, Like a couple of weeks ago, Syl was dying.
Giving birth, yes, I
And,
was dying.
and she's screaming like, I'm dying, I'm dying, I'm gonna die.
I said I'm gonna die.
Her water breaks.
so
We're like, it takes
painful.
us forever to get to the hospital. Baby's like coming out when she's getting out of the car, and the emergency. We have like 8 people following us, security, and it's wild. And then we finally get her up to the delivery room. Baby's like halfway out, and she's screaming like, I'm dying. You could hear the baby's heartbeat, and it's like critical times. And Syl's telling me, I'm gonna die. I'm not gonna make it from here. And she's like, I'm dying. So I'm thinking like, shit. Like, I was thinking, what if Syl dies and then I have these 3 little girls, and now I'm a single dad?
Am I gonna get married
Where am I
again?
gonna find another Syl? And I'm thinking, like, what's gonna happen? Now I have 3 daughters, and I'm single. It's gonna be very easy for me to find a girl, but who am I gonna like? Who do I want? What am I gonna do? How am I gonna replace Syl? Because Syl goes beyond just being a beautiful woman.
Mhm.
Like she runs operations. She's smart. She's my best friend. Like she's a lot of other things. So I'm thinking like, and then I'm thinking, well, what if Syl survives and baby doesn't come out right?
Right.
Then
it
I'm
was
thinking,
horrible.
I'm just thinking a million things, but I was thinking like, what if Syl's not here? And then I'm thinking, well, where am I gonna find another Syl? Because it took me 1,000 girls to meet Syl. 1,000. So a lot of girls I would go out with them and they would embarrass me. A lot of girls I would go out with them and they were just brain dead, like foggy brain, like airheads.
Airheads.
Like the moment they open their mouth, like, and sometimes you sit at dinner and after 5 minutes you're like,
What the?
yeah. So I was thinking like, where do you find another Syl? A lot of things going through my head. So how do you find a Syl? Because I'm sure a lot of these people that are not my friends anymore, they were looking for a Syl and they thought, oh, I have a Syl. But then they realized, no, she's not a Syl. Why do a lot of girls try to be like you?
Well, and I don't mind people trying to be like me. It's really a lot of work. to
Some
be
girls
me.
call themselves COOs.
It's a lot of work. Like I don't even care what I am. Like I don't even tell people like I'm the owner. Like I really don't care. I'm more worried about the day us getting everything done that needs to get done. You know, I have a very high sense of urgency, speed, and I like to believe I'm very efficient. I know I could always improve with certain things because I'm not the most patient person. And I think I've learned how to be patient, you know, but for me, I'm like, look, for all the girls out there, just focus on being better every single day. Like I tell Albert, we're always good to people, right? Obviously, there's only so much bullshit we're going to put up with. But like, I really tried to be my very, very best. And I like to have things under control. Like when I feel like things aren't in control, I'm like, okay, how are we going to fix that? How are we going to do this? How are we going to do that? Because like I tell Albert, people are people and nobody's going to care as much as you and I, period. And that's just how it goes. When you're the owner of anything, nobody cares as much as you. And when you find people that care as much as you give them ownership of whatever you're building. And the reason for that is because good people are so hard to come across, you guys. Like it is so hard to come across good, hardworking people, right? Because most people are entitled. But for me, I'm like, nobody ever gave me anything. It was very clear to me from the beginning that any and everything that I ever wanted in my life, I was going to have to go out and get it because it wasn't going to be my mom. Obviously, you know, Hispanic family, oldest of 5, me, you know, like it wasn't going to happen unless I made it happen. So for me, very early on, I realized that I had a lot of work to do, you know, and as soon as I got my first car, I got my first job. And ask me how I got my first car. You know, I'm a very determined person. And when I want to do something or I go and do it, he's way more ambitious than I am. To me, I'm like, I just want to be rich. That's it. I don't want to wash my own dishes. I want somebody to wash them for me, you know, and he's like billions and millions of dollars. Like I didn't even know what Beverly Hills was. I just wanted a nice house where I can have my own bedroom and things like that. But I think when you come from a place of not having much when you grow up to literally, like, if I didn't have $1 in my pocket because my mom couldn't give us
But no,
$1,
because you always wanted to be rich. When you were young,
Rich.
you used to tell your brother that you wanted a house so big that the closet
But
was going to be big enough for him to live.
I didn't consider rich like, oh, a millionaire or a billionaire, because I had nobody to tell me that. So all that I had was these novelas that I used to watch with my grandma. And you see all the popular pretty girls, you know, they walk up in nice cars, they have chauffeurs, they have maids. And obviously some of these novelas are in Mexico. So again, I don't know much of like the nice places in Mexico. Albert knows more about that than I do. But I just knew I had to work hard. I knew I had to get a job. And I'm that person that would pick up the shift, right? When my friends were calling in to work because they wanted to have an extra day off or they were hungover in the morning. And for me, I'm like, no, nobody made me go be out all night. So I'm going to be at work because I said I was going to be here. And that's another thing that helped me a lot when I got into real estate. And I had an investor and he's like, okay, you're holding open house all week. I'm like, all week. I do this already anyway for listings that are not even mine. So it keeps you accountable, right? And I'm a big, when I say I'm going to do something, I do it. That's why, like, I don't get people that let themselves off the hook so easily. You know, I'm like, look, you said you were going to be there, get there. You know, and I think that's very important, knowing that nobody's going to give you anything and nobody's going to come and save you. I had to save myself and my whole family. So, and I take a lot of pride in that because I feel like as the oldest of 5, I had a lot of responsibilities. I had to figure out how to feed my brothers and my sisters when my mom was doing her best to provide for us with what she had, which wasn't much, you know? So that for me, I think you just build and build and build on yourself. And as long as you're building for the better to become a better person, because again, I'm not perfect. I really try to be perfect. I try to understand people, but I don't do good with like bullshit excuses.
You kind of look like the Smurfs with that outfit.
Oh, this blue outfit.
Yeah.
I know I wanted
You know
to.
the Smurfs, those blue creatures?
Yeah.
Yeah. But let's go to Juan Carlos Mora. He has a question about a question right there. Juan Carlos Mora, can you get on the camera, please?
Oh, Jonathan has a good question.
Yeah,
too.
let's go. Let's do those two and then we're gonna end it.
He's gonna take me on a date today, right?
We have unlimited
Dates.
unlimited spending
Dates. Money.
unlimited daily spending habits.
We're already tired of everywhere we go. Do we have him on the line?
Yeah, there he is. Juan.
Hello. Hi.
We can't hear you, Juan. I think you're muted.
All right, could you hear me now?
Yeah,
now we
can
could.
hear
Yeah,
you.
perfect. Awesome.
How you guys doing?
Amazing,
Good, how are
amazing.
you?
Have 3 babies, have my dream car, my dream wife, my dream kids, dream office. Everything is perfect.
That's good. Same here. You know, I just during COVID, I've been going a million miles an hour. So now it's time to grow. And I something that you had mentioned before when you asked Grant Cardone, you know, I hit this number every year, and I want more. And he told you to build a team.
Right.
So that's where I'm at. I'm about to build, but every time I run into somebody, they lack integrity, or you know, they're just not me. You know, so
Right.
I'm still in the process of finding the right people. Just wanted to ask you guys for some tips.
How important is it to build a team?
Your audio went off, Juan. I heard the first part. You could hear me, right? Can you hear me? You could hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. It cut off. Try to fix that, Andrew. But I got your question. So this I'll go first, and then Syl can add. But number one thing is, in the beginning, you gotta hire everybody. And so in the beginning, you gotta hire everybody. And let me explain what I mean by that. So let me explain what I mean by that. In the beginning, like maybe you start a company and you have aggressive commission plans where you're paying people like you're paying them very, very, very well, where it almost doesn't make sense for your company, but you're doing whatever it takes because you want to recruit people because you need that extra. You need a little bit of extra money to come in. So sometimes you make that mistake in the beginning because it is a mistake. If I could have done it differently, I would have done it differently. But we all start somewhere and we think we got this bright idea. I'm gonna give them a super high margin, meaning that I'm gonna make very little, where it even doesn't make sense because you have expenses in the company. So that happens, but you start growing your company, and then eventually those people that started with you are gonna fall off, and they're not gonna, and then a lot of them will become jealous of you, then envious, then they'll become haters, and then they'll talk shit, and then they become fanatics because later they're gonna be like, I used to know Juan Carlos. I used to work with him 5 years ago. I used to work under him. And they used to know you because you continue to grow. But that happens. It's normal. So you do have to build a team. You have to hire people. And then just remember that you always have to keep adding more people because people are going to come and go. And that's what happened to us. And in the last 12 months, maybe 18 months, we have done a lot of cleanup. So we are bigger than ever. But in order to grow, in order to get to where we got now, we had to do a lot of cleanup and get rid of a lot of those people that were with us in the beginning that just couldn't grow with us.
They don't want to change.
You can't. They're scared of change. Right. They don't like change, and you can't drag them forever. So the best thing you could do is when you find somebody that's not a good fit, the sooner you can get rid of those people, the better, and just wish them well. Tell them, hey, good luck. You got my support. I'll put a good word for you. Just go do your own thing. I think you're better off doing your own thing, and then continue to hire new talent. And very important, you got to have the right training in place for team building. And then you have to have 5 or 6 little Juan Carloses under you that are all in. You train well. They're very coachable. They're humble people. They're hungry. And then they're going to lead. They're going to be team leaders for people under them, but they're going to lead them the same way you led them. Does that make any sense? And then that's how you grow, because you can't be the mentor for every single member of your company when you grow so big. So for example, for us, I got let's say I got Oscar in Long Beach. We got Eli and Mike in Rancho. We got Jared and Leslie in the other Long Beach office. We got Zaira in San Diego. We got Beche and Chiquis and Modesto. So we got a lot of people in different areas, and they're the leaders there. So they report to me, and then the other people under them report to them, and that's how you grow. But it's very hard to find those people, and maybe out of 10, you're gonna get one of those. So that's what I would say. Right. You want to add something to that, Syl?
Yeah. So finding good people is really hard. So finding good people is probably the hardest part. People that align with all your values, your goals, your core values, literally with your vision, the mission, where we're going. It's a very difficult thing to do. So you as a leader, you have to identify what is it that I'm looking for in people, right? And so when you have that very clear, it becomes a lot easier to add and subtract. A lot easier, because him and I made a mistake for a very long time. Literally to be re-enrolling people. And I'm talking grown ass people. We're re-enrolling them. We're letting them re-know the vision. You know, people that are RSVPing and then they don't show up because they have to do something stupid, something their wife can do. You know, so to me, I'm oh my God, this is becoming so much work to drag these people along, you know, and Tim Story said something very powerful one day. And again, having good leaders around you, good people to look up to, good mentors. He said one day, sometimes you have to leave people behind to move forward. Even lesser times, you're going to come back and pick them back up and then continue the path. A lot of people, you just got to leave them behind because they stun your growth. They don't let you grow. It's like a bucket full of crabs. You know, they pull each other down. Nobody wants to see anybody do better than each other. So, you know, it's super important. You can't grow without a team because you can only do so much in the hours, the 24 hours that we all have in our day. Everybody has different commitments. Even though we have the same 24 hours, we all have different commitments that our time is already tied to, especially when you have a family. So, you know, just things like that. You have to identify certain things. And then don't be so emotional and be quick to let people go, because I'll tell you what, him and I tried helping everybody. And I'm some people are just not a good fit for us. That's why now if we interview with someone and I get a small little taste of it's called a vampire personality. I'm like, nope, I don't want you here. Or like if they're just super slow, I'm like, go get experience somewhere else. Come back when you're a little less new. So yeah, things like that,
and one quick thing, Juan Carlos, also apply the 80-20 rule. So the 80-20 rule means 20% of your company members are gonna provide 80% of the revenue or results. So I spend 80% of my time with my 20 percenters. So the 20 percenters are like those people that I told you, Saida, Oscar, Frankie. There's quite a bit because we have hundreds of people in the company. So those are the ones. But 20% of your team, of your company, is going to provide 80% of the results. So you can't spend time with everybody the same. You got to focus on those 20% that are giving you the best return on your time. And then also, in order to spend time with everybody in the company, maybe you have once a week training where everybody gets to be there with you, but you give a training for everybody. And if they don't show up, then they're not going to get any of your time because you need to focus on your highest and best use. So I don't know if we answered most of it, but you have any follow back questions?
No, that was it. Obviously, I look forward to getting down there, hopefully on the April 1st, and meeting you guys in person. And
awesome. We'd love to
continue to grind.
Awesome.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Juan,
Thank you so
one
much.
quick thing. How big is your company right now? How big is what you're running?
Well, so I'm an individual agent. I work with the largest privately owned brokerage here in Fresno County. I have about 5-6 offices, but I'm ready to grow my team. I was going to branch off myself, but they allowed me the freedom to build a team, just so I can grow, So yeah, we're over here in the Fresno County area, but I list for national builder. So when builders are done certain subdivision, they give me the last 19, last 20. If they move their guys around. So I've been pretty fortunate to be able to, sell their properties, which are brand new. So I'm really all over the place, man. I could be here today and maybe in Marietta tomorrow.
Yeah.
Hollister.
So you're a realtor?
Yes, sir.
Realtor. Okay. Do you have an assistant?
I do. I have actually a TC that pretty much has assistant duties.
So do this. Look, I don't want to get all your private information out and all that, but get your income. So do the math. Get your income, and let's say like you make $300,000 a year. I'm just making this number up. So if you make $300,000 a year, let's do the math. $300,000 a year divided by 2080. That's how many hours are in a year, working hours if you work 40 hours a week. So I'm just doing it as like the average hours that people are supposed to work. So 2080, that's going to give you $144. So your hour, if you make $300,000 a year right now, is worth $144,000. Let's say you make $150K a year to keep it at something that's not too low, not too high. So then that means that you're making $72 an hour. So if you're making $150K a year, you're making your hourly worth is $72. So you could easily get an assistant where you pay the assistant $15 an hour. You're still going to be making a good amount because you take away the $15 an hour, you're still left with $57 an hour that you're making. But now you just hired another person that's going to add another 8 hours of work. So this assistant is going to do all the non-money making activities for you. So you're going to focus on building the relationships with more builders, getting more business, going to more networking events, masterminds, things like that. You're going to be getting more business, building more relationships, and then your assistant that you pay $15 an hour is going to save you so much time to free you up, and she's going to do or he's going to do maybe things like putting gas in the car, bringing you food, making your copies, sending documents, driving back and forth to places, things like that, where it's going to free you up to do those big money-making activities. So that's what you got to do. The number one step. You need a personal assistant aside from a TC, a personal assistant when you're ready. when you're ready. And then after that, you start hiring agents under you. And then we do like a workaround with the split where you make a little bit off of their production and you train them. But it's step at a time, one step at a time. Don't get too, you don't have to rush through it. It took us a lot of time to build everything. But we started off as me, an agent, her an agent. We hired an assistant, then TC, then processor, and then we started building everything like that.
Yeah, it's a huge team. Huge.
Nice. That's awesome.
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 Okay, well
thank
nice
you guys
to talk
so much.
to you.
Awesome,
You're
brother.
welcome.
Okay.
Have a good weekend.
You too. How are we on time, Andrew?
Thank you.
It's up already.
Okay, so I'm going to close it out really quick. Jonathan, I saw your question, so I'll answer it.
What do millionaires talk about and what do billionaires talk about? What is one key detail that is different in the conversation? Also, what's operations? I'm still trying to figure out if even got operations in place.
Oh, you want to start with operations, and I'll talk about the billionaires.
Operations is basically, for example, what happens when you get a new order for a garage or whatever service you provide, right? What happens next? Then what happens? Operations is basically getting us to the sale internally through the team. And literally, like, our companies are big, so we have to update operations. Some of our processes and procedures have to change as we run into new issues. But it's like, what happens when this happens? And then what happens when that happens? Basically, your goal is to get the client from here to the closing line.
So for example, like where our companies are super big, like Syl said, but a recent operation issue that we had to update was we've never had a studio. We've never had a studio, so we were used to just shooting driven couples, and we used to drive to our house, shoot it there. But then now we have a professional studio here at the office. We always wanted one, and then obviously we want to help. The studio's purpose is to grow us and grow the company. Right. So now we're promoting it to the company and just letting the company know, hey, this studio is for you guys, so that you guys can promote yourself on social media and all that. But now everybody is booking it at the same time, same day. So we run into that problem. That's an operations problem because now we can't, no matter how much we want to do it and accommodate for everybody, we can't have 10 people booking the studio at the same day at the same time. Yeah. So that's an operations problem. So now we have to tweak it. And then Syl's very good at operations. So she's like, okay, well, now we have to create a schedule, a booking. We can only book from time slots and all that. Maybe you could just really quickly on that.
It can get messy really quickly. And obviously him and I never stop. So we continue with everything that we're doing while changing and updating our policies and procedures. And I realized, I'm like, oh man, this is getting super messy. So we have to fix it. And obviously, people that are producing get more perks than people that aren't producing, because it also takes our marketing team's time. So there has to be, something in it for all of us. We're going to help you, but at a lower cost. However, we just can't have this booked up all day with people that aren't doing much. So it's hard. It's tough, putting these procedures in place and everybody knowing exactly what to expect as far as, okay, if you're late 15 minutes, what does that do? It cuts into your hourly, the studio's booked out 1 hour at a time. That's how we have it set up. It's a lot of work. So we're always improving, always making things easier for our people, our team, and it also has to be a benefit to both parties.
And then also the talk that we have with billionaires and people that are worth 100 million and people that are worth 1 million or under, they're way different. I'll tell you that the biggest difference, because I hang out with a lot more billionaires than Syl. Yeah. But the biggest difference is billionaires don't talk about money. People that are like 1 million or under, they talk a lot about money. People that have hundreds of millions and above, they talk a little bit less about money. They obviously they love money. That's why they're that wealthy. But like I was talking to this mentor that I have, his name is Fred. and he was worth 4 billion a while ago, so he's probably worth a lot more now. He owns like all of South LA, pretty much. So like he's never talking.
He's the one that texted you.
He talks about the masses and providing service for the masses, and they like doing all these events to help people. They raise a lot of money. Like that's one thing that billionaires do. They raise money. And you gotta, when you think about that, you just look at their behavior and you start seeing what they do. And if you want to become a billionaire, you got to do what they do. They're always talking about businesses that you can sell. We're building a business to sell. They love real estate.
Yeah.
Investing.
I love real estate.
They but some of these billionaires, it's a different level. Some of these millionaires or small multimillionaires, they're like, I want to get 4 units, I want to get 20 units, I want to get 80 units. These billionaires, they want to buy buildings, they want to buy skyscrapers, they want to buy, they want to build malls. It's just a bigger level of thinking, and that's the biggest. And they don't waste time at all. They're very, very, very precise with their time. If they say I have a hard stop at this time, they have a hard stop at this time. They don't waste any time. If somebody has time to meet you, then you probably don't want to meet them because they don't value their time. If it takes you sometimes a hard deal to get them to meet you, then it's because they're very successful for a reason. Like this guy Fred. One time he told me, hey, meet me in 1 hour. And remember, we had to rush over there?
Yeah.
But like if it's very easy for you to book an appointment with somebody, then they're probably not the person you want to book an appointment with. People that are the billionaires, 100 millionaires, it's very hard to get their time. So once you get that time, you gotta be ready at all times and go there.
We will drop everything and went to go see this guy. We were like, done. And again, him and I can identify these opportunities literally so quickly. And I'm like, okay, let's go. So, and again, we work like a team, guys. Like we are a team. Yeah, sometimes he gets on my nerves, but actually we fight a lot less than we used to, which is kind of weird. Because I think we both went into like, oh shit mode. Like we have a lot to do, no time to waste. And in a market like this, you take all the good people, you help them grow, and we get rid of the people that were dabbling.
Yeah, but I'm gonna give you some homework, Jonathan. There's a podcast that I did with Fred, and it's on my Driven channel. It's one of my old. It's like long 4 or 5 years ago, I think. 4 or 5. His name is Fred Leeds. So Fred Leeds. I'll send you the link. Help me find the link, Andrew. But it's like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. We went to his headquarters in LA. So his name is Fred Leeds. It's in my English Driven channel, and watch it. Watch it. That guy's a legitimate billionaire. So that's gonna be very good. But yeah, like when you can come across a billionaire or somebody that's worth 100 million or higher, you just want to listen more and talk less. That's the biggest thing. Just listen more and talk less. Listen and talk less. And the more you are around them, you're gonna get smarter and you're gonna make more money. And that's why, like, for a while, I was just, whenever one of those people, 100 millionaire or billionaire, wanted to spend time with us or they gave us the opportunity, we would drop everything and go. We would be like, we'll jump on the car right now, on our way. Remember one day I was like sick, hungover, and just messed up. And we were laying in bed, and then Elena texts me like, hey, come have dinner with us and all that. And then I'm like,
fucking go. Hey
babe, we gotta go. Yeah. We gotta go. I'm gonna jump in the shower. We gotta go right now.
Yeah. And
you were like, oh my God, we have Italia here, and we gotta go. And we would just get ready. I think your sister took care of Italia, right. And we just went over there.
Right.
Like out of the blues.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
So that you gotta be ready for those opportunities because they don't come that often, and you gotta take advantage of them. So that's the biggest difference. I hope that answers the question. But the higher level people you can get across in front of you, drop everything and go. You tell your wife, hey wife, I got a jam right now. I got to be there in 45 minutes. Boom, you leave. So having said that, guys.
Well, really quickly.
Yeah.
I own a bakery and I want to scale the business. where would you suggest I start?
Marketing.
Marketing and create something. I was watching, go to Netflix. There's this show on like crazy things that go viral, basically. And it was like, Instagram is crazy. Social media is insane. Create something, especially at a bakery that nobody has. I think it was like a muffin that was a hybrid between a muffin and a concha, like the Mexican bread. And it went super viral. And that company, like, they're doing so good, and it's a bakery. So you just have to have something different. Like he says, blue ocean strategy. And what, Albert? You put it on social media and it goes viral?
If you want to see...
A bakery.
We're selling 2 companies in the next 3 years or so. So once we do that, all the money that we get, we're going to start a new venture. Kind of like Elon Musk. He sold a company for $60 million. He started more ventures. He put everything on the line. So that's why I'm telling you, Syl, that even when we become more wealthy, I'm going to continue to put all the money on the line for new experiments. I'm just like that. I like challenges. Or else, what's the full reason of living? What's the point of living? So when we do that, we're gonna use our money to start more ventures, more businesses. So if I had a bakery, if we would start a bakery, because I want to have my own restaurant.
Yeah.
I want to have my own clothing line.
No, I want to have my own clothing line.
Well, we'll each have our own, but we're gonna have like our clothing store. We're gonna have our restaurant. I don't know, different things. So if I would have a bakery, I would get all the most famous influencers on social media, and I would give them free bakery
stuff.
Or I would even pay them so that they can come, eat, and put it on their Instagram, TikTok. Hey guys, I'm so famous. I got 1 million followers. I don't need that much bakery, but you know, like I don't bread. I don't need that many cakes and stuff. But if I want to get the best cheesecake, I'm gonna come to this bakery because they have the best cheesecake. Boom, picture, boom. I'll do the cheesecake for you because I like cheesecake.
Yeah.
And you post it, and then guess what? All of their followers, which is people, more people are gonna know who you are. They're gonna go to your bakery, and it's gonna blow up. That's how all these famous restaurants, bakeries became big. Javier's is not the best Mexican food. It's not. McDonald's is not the best burgers. It's not. But I'm not the best loan officer. I'm not. But I'm the most famous loan officer. So it doesn't matter how good you are, other loan officers, or it doesn't matter how much experience you have, other loan officers watching this. You ain't got my following. You ain't got my looks. You ain't got my personality. So you're never going to beat me. You're always going to be at a 1% of my level. So if you want to be the best bakery, you don't have to be the best. You don't have to be the most experienced bakery. You have to be the most famous bakery, and you're going to outsell everybody else, no matter how much better they are than you, and no matter how much more experienced they are than you. You want to be a celebrity in your space. So just like Portos, I'm pretty sure you know Portos, they are known.
And they're not the best.
They're not the best, but they are known.
The Tres Leches cake is really good.
So you gotta become a celebrity in your space, Monse. So thank you guys. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Next week we're gonna run this show back in Spanish. Go out there, make some money, make a lot of babies, and make more money.
Practice.
See you guys. Guys, if you made it this far, I have an exclusive mastermind that I want you to join. Go to drivenacademy.com and subscribe to my exclusive mastermind, where we're gonna meet in person every month at my workshop, and you get more perks. All you gotta do is go to the link below and sign up. I'll see you there.